Hey Aloka, it's Jack with Onboard Landscaping here to take you through this design. First things first, we've got this brick pillar. This would be used with a Weston retaining wall block. Now we can make any adjustments to materials depending on your input and what we decide to go with as a game plan. So you've got retaining wall block, you've got a rock face slab, and then you've got retaining wall block that shoots through to give it a more layered look. Over here is where the project, obviously, this is the biggest part of the project. You've got this berm that borders the walkway or the sidewalk. You've got some deutzia shrubs, some hummingbird clethra shrubs. Now I think we should actually put these in the back because these will get bigger than the deutzia. So switch those out. So yeah, you'll have it like this, and these guys will get bigger in the back. These hummingbird clethras would be really cool. Offers a little bit of a scenic element for the outside sidewalk. You've got these Trotman junipers to add privacy. You've got these Hicks yew. They're called yews right here. Those would stay nice and compact. You've got emerald green arborvitaes here for the privacy screen. You've got a Japanese maple at the end. You've got this cut leaf Japanese maple, which has a more weeping look over here on the outer perimeter of the patio. You've got these grasses. They are called Black Hawks, big blue stems. They have a purple foliage. To the entryway, you've got these Mugo pines. You've got a stone outcropping to add an additional layer of privacy from the sidewalk with a backdrop of 4 northern sea oats grasses, and then you've got in the foredrop or the edging plants would be a perennial garden having blazing star, 3 different types of dianthus, and some variations of sedum. For the patio, obviously everything would be done to the best of our ability, or to the best of anyone's ability really. Excavating 9 inches, compacting 5 inches of type 2 crushed stone. You would even compact the sub base after excavation, landscape fabric the whole thing so you don't have moss coming through the joints and however many years. It's just really that landscape fabric, lifetime warranty landscape fabric installed around the entire sub base allows for, it just lengthens the lifespan of the project by quite a bit. Then you've got the compacted stone, you've got the sub base compacted, you've got the 2-inch stone compacted a couple times, and then you've got another 2 inches of 3/4 inch crushed stone as a finished sub base. So instead of using sand, which will eventually sink and sag, especially since we are in a climate where there's a lot of freezing and thawing, we use 3/4 inch crushed stone because no sand equals no sinking. These retaining walls would be installed on top of a concrete footing. The skeleton of the retaining wall would be cinder block, and then we would install a bluestone stone veneer. And then you've got a bigger basalt paver in the middle, and then you've got a lanon and cobble border. I think it would be cool to do, if we're going to do a lanon and cobble border, maybe we make the actual fire pit out of lanon and stone as well. And then on top of the retaining walls, you have a rock-faced stone slab. So we'd rock face all this. We'd have to do all the rock facing by hand. And then you've got, this berm. Like I said, I don't know if I forgot to mention that this berm is here too. So this whole garden bed would be elevated. This would all be mulched. And then you've got some steppers leading to and from the patio. And then the last thing for the design is this patio back here. I think it'd be good, since if we are going to use a larger paver for the interior of this fire pit patio, we could use the same one to complement this back area. Now the joints would be bigger in here, so we would use a polymeric stone dust. So you'd use a polymeric stone dust in here. We would use polymeric sand, but polymeric sand is rated for 4 to 5 inches, which would be fine, but polymeric stone dust is just a little bit more, it's a little bit more durable, and I think it looks better. And then you would have an edging along the outside here, an edging that cuts back in to kind of contain this area. high quality steel edging. You've got this privacy screen of arborvitae here. Another thing to mention about this back patio for the work scope, another important factor would be once you have all of these set in here, you actually have to put a polyurethane pad on the bottom of the plate compactor and compact everything once the stones are set, so that when you're filling in, whether it's polymeric sand or polymeric stone dust, all of the joints get completely filled. So, there's like 7 different stages of compaction, uh, using a laser level to ensure that grading is done to the best of our ability, or to the best of anybody's ability, really. Um, and yeah, so I figured it'd be best to get this design out. We can make any alterations depending on what your preference is for the actual design, but I think it'd be good to get this out to you so you can take a look at it, and then we can move forward and talk about price for everything. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks.